What are the different types of DAX functions we have in Power BI? Hi, I am M. Asif Hussain from Knowhow Academy. In this video, we are going to choose a dataset and what are the DAX functions that are usable in that dataset. We are going to look all the different types of DAX functions in this particular video of part 1. Today, we are going to choose aggregate functions, and under aggregate functions, we are going to see average, AVERAGEX, count, COUNTX, COUNTBLANK, count rows, distinct count, MAX, MAXX, MIN, MINX, SUM and SUMX. So let us start by doing it in Power BI. So I have a dataset here with few of the columns. Let me show you the columns that we have: region column, country, customer, business segment, category, model, color, sales date, list price, unit price, order quantity, and a particular column which is completely empty. It is completely blank. All right. So we don't have a column called sales. We don't have a column called profit. So let us find out the sales here. So in order to find out the sales, we need to choose a DAX function and we need to multiply list price times order quantity and unit price times order quantity in order to get the cost. So let me choose a new column. In this column, I am choosing the column name as sales equal to list price times order quantity. So what is my table name? My table name is data of list price multiply by data of order quantity. If I click on enter, I have got my sales. The reason that we are finding out sales, the reason that we are finding out cost is because we need to find out the average of sales. We need to find out the average of profit. In the same way, in order to use the DAX function SUM and SUMX, we need to have these columns. So I am choosing, we have got sales here. So even let me find out cost in order to find out the profit. So here I am choosing a column name such as cost equal to, so my column name, that is data of unit price multiply by data of order quantity. When I click on enter, I have got my sales, I have got my cost. How to find out the profit? Profit we can find out by subtracting sales minus cost. So I am choosing a new column here again. In this new column, I am writing the column name as profit equal to, so how to find out profit? Sales minus cost. So data of sales minus data of cost. Data of sales minus data of cost. When we have this data of sales minus data of cost, we have got the profit. Yeah, it is there in the numbers. We can convert it into percentage as well. When I have this particular sales, cost and profit, let me find out the average of sales. How to find out average of sales? So I am choosing a new measure here. How to choose an average function? I am choosing a new measure here. I would like to find out average sales. So average sales equal to, the DAX function to find out average sales is average. So we have average of, what is the column name? I would like to find out the average of sales. So data of sales, click on enter. We have got average of sales by using the DAX function called average. So let me choose a card chart. In this card chart, if I choose a sales column, my total sales that I have, it is 141.08 million. Okay, so now if I choose another card chart, here I would like to show you my average sales. So my average sales is 2.32k. I can convert this sum of sales, which is in millions, I can convert it into thousands as well. So if I convert it into thousands, it is 141,077.29k. So out of this, my average sales is 2.32k. Okay, now X functions, either that is AVERAGEX or it is SUMX. So the point here is that the difference between these X functions. So let me show you. Again, I'm choosing a new measure. Here I will choose a DAX function called AVERAGEX. AVERAGEX equal to, I am choosing the DAX function as AVERAGEX. What is it telling? It calculates the average of a set of expressions evaluated over a table. So I have to choose a table name, which is my data, comma, what is the average of my sales if I would like to consider. What is my expression? Rather than directly choosing the sales column, I can directly write the formula list price times order quantity here. So list price multiply by order quantity here. Then I'll close the bracket, click on enter. AVERAGEX, where we can write everything in a row level. What is the difference between SUM and SUMX? This is also one of the important interview questions that I will discuss it to you now here. So if I choose a card chart, obviously we have this same value, 2.32K. So rather than having a sales column, okay, until or unless we have a sales column, by using average function, we have found out average sales. So average is a DAX function that we have to use when we have a column which is physically present in our data set. But when we talk about these X functions, though that is SUMX or though that is AVERAGEX, so we don't need to have a column physically present because it will consider it in a row level perspective. So directly we can write the formula and calculate it using X function, though that is AVERAGEX or SUMX. Alright, so coming to the next DAX function, we have count. I would like to count how many, if I have a column, let me choose it business segment. I want to see how many business segments we have in my particular data set. So again, I'll choose a new measure. Here I will write a name of a column such as count of business segment. Count of business segment equal to, I will choose a DAX function called count. What is the column name? Column name, I have it as business segment. I would like to see what is the count of my business segments that I have. So let me choose a card chart here again and count of business segments. So here I have 61K count of business segments. Okay. So what is the reason that I am getting these many? Let me show it to you. Business segments. What are the business segments we have? We have only 4: accessories, bikes, clothing and components. But why is it showing 61K? Because count is considering the repeated values. That is the point that we are getting 61K. Though we have 4 business segments, but it is counting multiple times. So how to avoid it? How to consider the unique values? How to remove the repeated values and count how many business segments we have? So for that, we again come into the another DAX function that we have as a distinct count. Distinct count will consider the unique values. So let me write it here. Distinct count of business segment equal to, I am choosing the DAX function called distinct count. Okay, distinct count of, what is my column name? My column name is data of business segment. Click on enter. So now if I would like to see, let me take a card chart here again. So I would like to see distinct count of business segments. Now I'm getting only 4. There are 4 business segments that we have. As we have seen, we have bikes, we have accessories, we have clothing and we have components. So there are 4 business segments. We got the count exactly 4 when we have choose the DAX function called distinct count. But when we got 61K by choosing the DAX function called count, because it is considering the repeated values. So the difference between count and distinct count is count will give us the repeated values. Distinct count, it will give us the unique values. It will not consider the repeated values. So that's the point. Now let us come to another DAX function that we have under aggregate functions. That is, I would like to see how many rows I have in my particular data set. So if we consider, there are 60,919 rows, which we can see here in the particular table view option. But using a DAX function, how we need to find out how many rows we have in a data set. So for that, let me again choose a new measure. In this new measure, I am writing the column name as count rows. I would like to see how many rows I have in my data set. So count rows equal to the DAX function that I choose is count rows. And what is my table name? My table name is data. So I would like to see how many rows I have using a DAX function called count rows. So let me choose a card chart again, and I would like to see how many rows I have. I have 61k. So if I consider it, we have the same thing, 60,919. It is round figure, it is considering it as 61k rows that we have in our particular data set. Now, I would like to see how many blank informations I have in my particular column. So how to find it? So as I have shown in the first time in my particular data set, I have one column which is completely blank, which is column number 35. So let us consider that. So we need to show that how many blank rows we have in our particular data set. Now I would like to choose a new measure. Here I am choosing a column name such as count blank. Okay. So count blank equal to the DAX function that we have is count blank. So we are counting blank here. So what is the column name? Let me choose the column number 35 that we have. Click on enter. So we have got the column which is completely blank, and I would like to see how many blank rows I have. So I'm using the DAX function called count blank, which again comes under aggregate functions. So let me choose a DAX function here. In this, I am choosing the count blank new measure that we have done. It is telling 61k count blank. Now again it comes to the picture. So we are counting the blank. How many blanks we have? We have only one blank, but that one blank, it is getting repeated 61,000 times because those many rows we have in our particular data set, because we have those many particular empty informations in our particular data set. In the same way, I would like to show you how many blank rows that we have if using distinct count. Okay, I'm again choosing a new measure. I'm choosing something called as distinct count blank equal to. So I'm choosing the column, the function called as a distinct count, and I'm counting the column name, which is column number 35. Okay, if I click on enter, let me show you how we can get it 1. So I am choosing a card chart here, and I am choosing distinct count of it. So I have only one blank. That one blank, it is getting repeated 61,000 times. Okay, so we can use a distinct as a DAX function as well that we have. Now coming to the picture, I would like to see what is my maximum sales in my particular data set that I have got. So what is the DAX function that we have to use? The total sales that we have, it is 141,077.29k, which is my total sales. Out of my total sales, I would like to see what is my maximum sales that I have. So for that, what is the DAX function that we need to choose? I'm going with a new measure. In this new measure, let me choose write a column name such as maximum sales. Maximum sales equal to the DAX function that I'm choosing is MAX. What it is telling? Returns the largest numeric value or largest string in a column. So the maximum of what is the column that I would like to see? Maximum sales. Okay, maximum sales. I'll click on enter. So if I choose a card chart and if I'd like to see what is my maximum sales, let me show you. I have taken a card chart and maximum sales. So the maximum sales that I have is 61.99k. Let us go and verify it in this particular data set. So I have a sales column. If I sort it, if I sort it in a descending order, okay, so 61,985k. So we have got the right answer, 61.985k. So which is my maximum sales. In the same way, if I would like to see what is my minimum sales, so again I will choose a new measure. I'll choose a new measure. Let me type here the column name such as minimum sales. So minimum sales equal to the DAX function that I am choosing is minimum. Minimum of what is my column name? Sales column. I'll click on enter. What is my minimum data of sales if I would like to see here? I'll choose a card chart. Now I will go and use my new measure that I have done, minimum sales. 2.29 is my minimum sales. So let us go and verify in the data set here again. So I have sorted it in a descending order. Let me sort it in ascending order. The 2.29 is my minimum sales. So is it correct? It is correct. So 2.29 using a DAX function min also we have got the same answer. In the data set also, if you go and sort it in ascending order, we have got the same answer. So minimum sales and maximum sales, where we can choose a DAX function called min and max. Okay. So now let me choose another page here. Now I am using the DAX function called MAXX. Okay. So for this, what is the condition that we have? So I would like to see what is my sales that I have got. Let me give a scenario. I would like to see what is the sales I have got for Canada region. Now that is the business requirement that is given. So now I am choosing the DAX function called MAXX equal to. So the DAX function is MAXX of what is the table name? My table name is data. So now rather than choosing the data, if any sort of filter is applied, see, I have applied the ascending order and descending order sorting there. For instance, if you have applied any kind of filter to your particular data set, to any of the columns, you need to remove that filter and you have to get the solution out of it. So rather than writing the table name directly, let me choose a function called filter. So filter, under filter, what is my table name? And my table name is data, comma. So what is the filter expression for the particular country? Canada, I would like to say it. So data of, where is my country? Okay, data of country equal to double quotation, because it is a category. I would like to choose a Canada here. Canada. Okay. So now I'll close the parenthesis here, comma. What is the expression? We want to find out what is my maximum sales for Canada region. We have chosen a filter called Canada. We have many particular countries. Out of all those countries, I would like to see what is my sales that I have got for Canada country. So that is where we have applied filter here. Now the expression that we have is data of sales. So close the parenthesis, click on enter. So I would like to show you what is my sales for Canada region. Okay, I'll take a table chart here. In this, let me choose a column called country. Okay, and the function that we have used just now, MAXX. So the Canada, the maximum sales that we have got is, the sales that we have got for Canada is 49,499. 4499.88 is the sales that we have got for Canada. In the same way, you would like to go and see for another particular country, you can happily go and search it in the same way. Now we have found out maximum. Now how to use this for minimum? Okay, which is the minimum one. Again, I would like to go and choose a new measure here. In this new measure, I am choosing a column name such as MINX equal to. So MINX of, min is nothing but minimum x of. Here again I am choosing the filter function. Under filter function, my table name is data, comma. What is the expression? What is my column name, which is country, now equal to. Here I would like to choose my country name such as France. Let me go for France now. Okay, close the bracket, which is for completely filter function, comma. Now what is the expression? Minimum sales I would like to see. So I have to choose a sales column, data of sales. Close the parenthesis. Click on enter. So we have got MINX function now. In the same table chart, I am dragging this MINX one that we have calculated just now. Okay. So for France, the minimum sales that we have got is 4.58. We have got is 4.58. Let us go and cross verify it. I'll go and filter it out. I'm choosing out France here. Okay, so for France, 4.58 is our minimum sale. So it is correct that we are doing it. Okay, so now coming back, let me remove the filter here. Okay, to avoid the confusion, I'll click on OK. Now coming back, so we have found out MINX and we have found out MAXX. So we have got the total sales, which is 141,077.29K. Now, how to find out this using a DAX function? We can go and choose the DAX function called as SUM. SUM is nothing but total. If I would like to see what is my total sales. So here I am choosing the DAX function called SUM of sales. SUM of sales. So SUM of sales equal to, so SUM as a DAX function and sales as my particular column. Click on enter. So what is my SUM of sales? That we will say it using a DAX function. So now I am choosing a card chart. In this card chart, I am choosing SUM of sales, which I have calculated just now. We have got it 141.08 million. If I would like to convert it into the thousands as per value we have, it is 141,077.29K, the same answer. So the total sales that we have using a DAX function SUM, we can find out it, and it is the same that we have got it with the regular value. Now in the same way, if I would like to find out using SUMX, okay, as I have told you, SUM is a column level. In order to find out this SUM of sales, again I am repeating this, please kindly have a glance. To find out my SUM of sales, my sales column has to be physically present in the dataset. Then only I can use my SUM. Then only I can use my average if I want to find out my average sales. But it is not required. A column has to be physically present in order to find out using SUM and average. But a column need not to be physically present when we are using the X functions. So I have shown you AVERAGEX. In the same way, let me show you SUMX. So I am choosing a new measure. I am choosing a new measure here. In this new measure, let me take the column name such as SUMX equal to SUMX as my DAX function. What is my table name? My table name is data. What is my expression? Directly I will multiply it here. Okay, list price times order quantity. List price times order quantity. Close the parenthesis, click on enter. Now let me show you what is the value if I try to find out using SUMX. It is obviously the same value, but the SUM, it is a column level aggregation. SUMX, it is a row level aggregation. Very important interview question, the difference between SUM and SUMX. SUM is a column level aggregation. In order to find out SUM, a column has to be physically present in the dataset. SUMX, it is a row level aggregation. A column need not to be physically present in the dataset. So if I take a card chart and I would like to see SUMX, this is the same answer we have got. If I would like to convert it into thousands, it is the same answer. So in this video, we have covered different types of aggregate functions that we have in DAX in Power BI. There are few more, but now I'm leaving those few more DAX functions for you in order to go and practice. So thank you for choosing Knowhow Academy as your source for IT knowledge. We are always here to help you to navigate the tech world. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. It's been a pleasure sharing this information with you. Stay curious and keep learning.